Hello, I'm Captain Andrea.
And I'm Commander Matthew.
And welcome to TrekBack Tuesday.
This is the show that seeks out new toys and old merchandise across the Star Trek universe. And today we've got a real big one to look at.
And that is an understatement. Commander Matthew, why don't you tell us more about what we have today?
Hi, Captain. Today we have from the distant year of 1993 by Playmates Toys. We have the classic Star Trek collector set of the Bridge Crew.
Wow.
This is the Bridge Crew of the original USS Enterprise.
Ooh, the original Enterprise. How dreamy.
That's right. This is based on the crew that was part of the ship during the original Star Trek series, which debuted in 1966. Although this box set does, of course, include Chekov, who joined the crew during Season 2.
Yes, in 1967.
So what's really, really cool about this box set is, aside from the fact that it's enormous, is that the packaging actually doubles as the bridge.
Which is great because we're going to need several stations for all the members.
Now, the downside, unfortunately, is that really once you take these toys out of the packaging, the bridge itself is kind of unusable at that point. So this is one of those toys where you got to really decide if you want to have them loose or you want to have them in the box forever. And since this is TrekBack Tuesday, they're coming out of the box.
Oh, yeah. Besides, I wouldn't want to keep these figures locked up in the box.
No.
They're meant to be played with.
They are, but it is a pity because this set looks really awesome in the box. And you've got the captain's chair, you've got the multi-leveled bridge. It just looks really, really nice. It's a great collector's item.
Yes. What's also really great about this set is it is a limited edition, individually numbered collector set. It's number whatever it is out of, what was it?
150,000.
150,000.
There was 150,000 these in 1993.
Yep, that's one heck of a collector's item.
So let's keep in mind, most toy runs have about that run normally.
Yeah.
So for this to be called a collector's item, you're pushing things.
For that to be called a collector's item, you're just jacking up the price.
Pretty much.
This would have already been something that you would have, priced higher just based off of how many figures are in the set and how it looks. So I don't know how I feel about it being called a collector's item.
Well, I will say, of all the Trek items that we've reviewed on the show, this is one of the more pricier ones. Because this is such a big box set, it's becoming more sought after as many of these crew members have begun to pass away. We actually got a really great deal on this at New York Comic Con 2018. I was actually able to bargain the guy down to $25 for this box set.
Wow.
Because it is very damaged. As you can see, it's absolutely, you gotta take it out loose, and that's what we're gonna do in this thing anyway. So I got a really good deal on the final day of Comic Con, and absolutely worth the hunt, though. I'm really happy to have this piece.
Pro toy hack for anyone who doesn't know: if you're hunting during a Comic Con, wait until the last day for all the best bargains for everything that people don't want to bring home with them.
Let's take a quick look at the back of the box, just so you can see what else is going on here. So you've got a look at everybody in the crew, as well as bios for each of them.
They also have a nice little list of the accessories that everything comes with. It's not a lot, but they weren't very accessory heavy back then in the original series, so that's okay.
And it's going to be pretty fair amount of accessories for this lot of folks, so that works out well.
Commander Matthew, prepare to beam the crew of the USS Enterprise out.
Hi, Captain. Enterprise Bridge Crew is on the deck, Captain.
Thank you, Commander Matthew.
And this is quite a big shock.
Surprise! There was an extra bridge set behind the other bridge set.
Which we legitimately did not know about.
Yeah, seriously. That was pretty great. As we were taking it apart, noticed that there looked like there was a little something extra. Lifted it up like so, and whoops! You had a clean, non-ripped apart bridge set.
Yeah, so there essentially was tabs in here that we were able to pull out separately, open up the figures, and do no harm to the actual bridge. So we actually do get a full bridge now.
This is amazing.
I don't know where I'm going to put this thing, but I'm in love with this already. This is like really, really cool, and everybody fits. Kirk even sits in his chair, awkwardly, mind you, but he sits in the chair.
Well, you know what? Kirk sat awkwardly in the chair several times too, so it's all good. It's all good.
It's still really, really cool to get a whole bridge. Such an unexpected little treat. Now I can see why this was a lot more expensive.
Yeah, this is worth the price tag.
Yeah.
Commander Matthew, let's get rid of the bridge and take a closer look at these figures.
Hi, Captain. Now here's a better look at Captain Kirk, Commander Spock, and Lieutenant Uhura.
I'm a little in love with these figures, I have to tell you.
These are really, really good. Now, we neglected to mention earlier that this was actually the very first time they did the original Bridge Crew as part of this Playmates line.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, this was actually their debut in the line. And for some of these figures, we'd get them again. Like, we'd get a lot of Kirks, we'd get a lot of Spocks down the line.
Surprise.
But a lot of other characters we wouldn't really see again, or we'd see very, very little of. So really, if this was the way to get the whole Bridge Crew, and once you had this, that was probably the end of it for that
Yeah,
line.
you really didn't need that for everybody else. You know what? For a debut, this is extremely strong.
Yeah, and you can really tell it's a debut, and that it's also a little bit earlier in Playmates' line, because the detail on the faces in particular is way better than they were later on when they re-released these characters. Why I say that is because you can see on Kirk, he's got wrinkle lines on his forehead, his lips are painted, the eyes are painted with a lot of detail. Same thing with like Spock and Uhura. Like the paint deck on all these figures is just so spot on. It's absolutely amazing. You're not going to find a finer set of these bridge crew members other than this box set.
You know, I think I may agree with you. Maybe. One of the things that I'm seeing that I am enjoying, that I'm particularly enjoying, is this.
Yeah, I love that they included that there. Spock can do the live long and prosper.
I mean, that by itself just made everything worth it.
Yeah, again, I did not even know he did that until he got him out of the box.
Which is really great.
Another hidden secret about this toy set.
I know, I feel like there's just secrets upon secrets in this box set.
Yeah.
One of the details I absolutely love about this Uhura is the way that the earrings stand out. These are the earrings she wore, but I just love that they got the paint color. So accurate. You know, and it just helps make everything pop. Kirk is an interesting one to me. I sort of feel like that's season 2 Kirk anyway. Okay, confession time. When I first saw Star Trek, I was surprised at how hot William Shatner was. And this made me very uncomfortable because I knew of Shatner as an older gentleman. So seeing him look younger and more debonair and all that was just that caused a lot of dissonance in my brain. Then season 2 happened, and he started looking a little less cut, to say. And that made me breathe a little easier. And that helped make my brain feel better. Like, oh, this is just a younger William Shatner. That's what this figure reminds me of. You know, not the slightly James Dean-ish version of you know, Captain Kirk / Shatner. Season 2 Shatner. And that makes me happy.
The paunchier Shatner.
He wasn't super paunchy. It's just, he was a little softer.
Yeah.
You know, it would be, I think, later in the season that he would get paunchier. But season 2 is just a softer version of Shatner. And it makes me happier because my brain cannot handle him in those two different ways. No, not at all. Next up, we have Lieutenant Sulu, Dr. McCoy, Ensign Chekov, and Chief Engineer Scott.
And again, these 4 likenesses are just amazing. And again, we really didn't get a lot of more figures of McCoy in this line either. We did get a Scotty later on, but it was like an old man Scotty.
Yeah. Well, I think, didn't they do, later on they did an old man McCoy at some point?
Yes.
I will say this, with this McCoy, he's a little younger looking than I expected.
Yeah, I will agree with that. They really smoothed out his face a lot here.
And even his hair color. They did, it's very similar to Chekov's, so I wish they had made his hair a tiny bit lighter, just to show a little bit more of the age and maturity. He has a few lines on his face, but it's not anywhere near the amount that DeForest Kelly had.
No.
I mean, the Sulu looks fantastic. It definitely looks like George Takei. Maybe a little less chiseled, but that's because his face is so sharp. I don't think you can actually make that in this scale.
That would be a hazard to children if they had a face that sharp.
I know, that would hurt. But, I mean, these are outstanding figures.
And we have to mention, too, the accuracy in the costumes here. Like, everybody has the correct wrist patches, or whatever you call those here. That basically denoted their rank. Their badges as well also each denote what their role was on the ship, whether it was engineering or communication.
Or command. It's great, yeah. You can see on the actual badges here, you see the little circles, which is great because it corresponds with their stands.
So these figures do come with accessories, and that includes a bunch of stands. We have 7 stands for 7 figures. And we also have this lovely little sack of phasers and communicators.
Talk about a hidden surprise. We knew the accessories were in there. We didn't know where. And then it comes out of the box, and it's right on the bottom. I don't think you should just pour them out. You shouldn't be raining phasers down on everyone.
Make it rain!
Phasers and communicators for everyone.
So what's really cool about these accessories is that they're all painted. And these items would be released later on again. They would not be as good looking as this.
No, these...
Especially these phasers, too.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of paint application on these phasers. So we would see these phasers, as well as a lot of these characters again, in the Star Trek Generations movie and that toy line. And again, these phasers will come back, as with the communicators. They were alright, pretty good looking, too, but I think these look way better.
These are astounding. And, you know, for something so small, texturally, this is really good. I mean, you feel the ridges on the phaser, on the top of the communicator in the gold, it's bumpy. You know, it's tiny and very hard to see, but it's there. I mean, this feels better to hold than some of the other accessories that we've seen over time, and it's just a lot of fun. And I just love how everyone gets a communicator and a phaser.
Yeah, there's enough for everybody, including Uhura. So yeah, we better arm her as well.
About time.
And
you do not want to mess with her.
We've noted with a lot of figures that Star Trek's done in the past, the women tend to have smaller hands. This Uhura does have very small hands, so despite there being, it looks like enough phasers for everybody, she can't hold one. So she can still hold a communicator. That's about it, unfortunately. So there that is. Sulu does a spin. Of course he would.
And this is my face regarding that. Boom.
Did you get it in?
Got it in.
Oh, Uhura's packing now.
So addendum to what Commander Matthew just said, you can get the phaser in her hand. It's just going to be a little bit harder. You have to work it in a little bit more than you would have to with the male figures.
So now Uhura's packing heat.
Yeah, she's going to be like, yo, I'm about to kill. Pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, my.
It's the Vulcan nerve pinch. Down goes Chekov. My turn.
Basically works, yeah.
Live long and prosper, bitches. Live long and prosper. I don't have much to say other than wow. This was not at all anything I expected. It looked great in box, but this outside, outside, I don't know. It feels like a very special set. I think that's the best way to put it. It feels like a special set because you have everyone from the original series and they just look good. This is what you want in a playable toy that's one day going to become a collectible toy.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Despite there being 150,000 of these floating around.
It doesn't matter at this stage. Who knows what shape all of them are in,
It's true.
But it's clever. The Live Long and Prosper. It's just a really great touch. Just the likenesses, all of it. It's a fantastic set. Everyone looks good. Even with all the age and everything, they're still on their stands. But yeah, overall, it's a great set. That's all I can really say. It's a great set.
I'd say it's absolutely worth the money and worth tracking down because you're going to get the entire core crew. Now, it is missing a few people, like, let's say, Nurse Chapel and Yeoman Rand, but we've actually reviewed those two figures in the past in the archives. In fact, so you can take a look at them there. Mm-hmm. And they exist, so you can basically build out your entire crew with everybody that's there.
No, I love that. I love that you can do it, and I just wish because they are a part of the story that they got a little bit more love and attention. But yeah. This is your core crew, so it made sense that these are all the figures that you'd get.
They have really, really great sculpting, amazing paint application, which really would not be matched in any future release of these figures. Top to bottom, these are some of the best figures we've looked at in the entire TrekBack Tuesday series.
Yeah, in fact, just a quick note on the paint job. I think overall, this might be one of the strongest sets or groups of characters that we've come across where they're clearly aged, but none of them are. The paint jobs are pretty pristine. They're not aged. They've held up incredibly well.
Well, these are from 1993, and at this point, Playmates still had a lot of care into their toys. So that helps a lot. They are still putting a lot of effort into these things to make them really, really great and to put just that much more detail in them.
Yeah, it's just, I love that it has the longevity. And that's our look at the classic Star Trek collector figure set. I'm Captain Andrea.
I'm Commander Matthew. Thanks for watching this episode of TrekBack Tuesday. Stay tuned for more coming very soon in the near future. But until then, live long and buy toys.